Hello. What was that Mr. Rogers say? What did he used to say? It won't. Hello, neighbor. Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you be? Hello, neighbor. Welcome to Zenful Conversations. Thanks so much for coming by and sharing a little bit of space, sacred space, beautiful space, the space of stillness, the breath, pause in this present moment. The Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo is the book that we're reading this year. You don't need to buy anything. We are here every day having these conversations, but I'm reading the message from the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo, and I think it's a wonderful book. New York Times best-selling book described as having the life you want by being present to the life you have. And this book has been talking a lot about experiences lately and learning from our experiences. The message that we are offered today, this day number, 2081. Day number 2081 is titled Breaking the Jar. Breaking the jar. Breaking the jar. And there's a Zen saying here to start us off that says, a man raised a baby swan in a glass jar. A man raised a baby swan in a glass jar. But as the bird grew, it became stuck in the jar. The man was caught now, for the only way to free the thing was to break the jar, killing the swan. This parable speaks powerfully to the clear containments, speaks powerfully to the clear containments we set about the ones we love, never imagining that who and what we love grows. What we set up as parameters out of fear or arrogance, or even out of the best intentions of protection, can suffocate the very thing we hold precious. Even more devastating and subtle, even more devastating and subtle are the ways in which we jar ourselves. If our mind is the man raising the baby bird, then the swan is our heart. And too often, in an effort to protect ourselves from being hurt, we place our soft and growing heart in a clear jar of distrust, never dreaming that the heart continues, like the baby swan, to grow. The heart continues to grow. And too often we can contain our way of being within our way of surviving. This is how we can wall in our hearts over time. And even the most unassuming and cautious of beings can find themselves having to break their hearts, their way of feeling in the world, in order to free themselves of their hardened, clear resolve. But many of us simply live within the hardness, if we can call such a constraint living. With such suffocation of heart and mind, Rachel Naomi Remen wisely asks, is it possible to live so defensively that you never get to live at all? At the heart of her question and this little Zen story is the difference between surviving and thriving, between existing and living, between resignation and joy. As human beings, our distrust builds a hardened resolve over our innocence, the way that silver tarnishes when exposed to air. Only the quiet, daily courage to be can let the air soften our hearts again. The meditative exercise that we are offered today asks us to imagine the last time you felt vulnerable or hurt. Imagine the last time you felt vulnerable or hurt, but you didn't show it. What has happened inside you for not showing your hurt? And imagine that moment of vulnerability again, and now in the safety of your solitude, though. Soften the moment and let the original feeling through. And receive yourself the way you would have wanted others to do. Oh. We'll give ourselves a big old hug. In gratitude, thanks so much for sharing this space today, and we will see you tomorrow, God willing. Namaste. Namaste.